Right friends, welcome back to revision class. This is 9th session, and in this class we are going to deliberate on various organizations, and the 10th class, that means on Monday we will deliberate with all together some new concept. That means in the revision what I am trying to inculcate is the situations where you will do mistake, where there is possibility of mistake or where there is possibility of confusion, and from that perspective I am looking at in the further revision classes. Let us see how we are going to look at it from that perspective. That is one aspect. Second aspect is economic survey 3 modules have already been uploaded in Learning Space Digital, and we are planning total 8 to 10 modules of economic survey. First 3 modules have already been uploaded, and they cover important aspects of outlook for 17-18, various economic developments of 16-17. Please go through them, and at the same time economy 10th and 11th lectures will be uploaded today and tomorrow, and we are planning to complete all economic survey as well as economy preferably by this month end, but if exceeds it may go up to 10th June, but preferably we will complete everything at least 1 week before your civil services preliminary examination. That much I can assure you. And as far as policies and programs are concerned, 12 already available, only 2 or 3 may come, that will be completed before this month end. So whatever I promised as far as this policies and programs, economic survey as well as economy, they will be completed, and this revision classes will continue like this, as well as Q&A. And in revision also I am trying to inculcate some sort of aspects pertaining to where normally students will confuse, right. I am trying something from Monday. Let us hope for further improving this revision class. Today you are going to look at various organizations, and I listed 55 organizations, and one small request: these organizations are prepared in fact while doing current affairs during the past 1 or 2 years. So there may be some minor changes in between, maybe financial powers or maybe change from one department to other department, like that minor modifications might have taken place during the past 1 or 2 years. So please bring it to our notice, because some changes might have occurred in between and not many changes may be there, and however they may be insignificant also from your examination perspective, but please let us go ahead. This is FIPB, Foreign Investment Promotion Board. This is going to be completely disbanded, or you can say this will be no more in existence, and in the budget it was decided that FIPB will not be there because of the reason now more and more foreign direct investment is coming through automatic route. When the FDI is coming through government approval route, then only FIPB comes into picture, but now more and more foreign direct investment is coming through automatic route except a few sectors. So that is why government decided there is no need for this Foreign Investment Promotion Board. So this will be no more in existence. Presently it is under the Department of Economic Affairs. So all the details I have given here, you can go through them, and as per the available information, this total foreign equity inflow per each case up to rupees 5,000 crores is dealt by FIPB, and beyond that it goes to CCEA. So this is as per the present day powers. And look at the next one, DIPP. This is also important organization, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. This is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and all the FDI norms are notified by Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. And another important point is it is also responsible for intellectual property rights relating to patents as well as designs, trademarks and geographical indications. So DIPP role is it releases FDI norms. Second one is it is the nodal authority for intellectual property rights, and at the same time it is the nodal department in Government of India for coordinating and implementing programs with UNIDO or UNIDO. Then if you look at the Central Statistics Office, it is under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, but here important aspect about CSO is it compiles national accounts, that means the GDP figures are released along with IIP as well as Consumer Price Index. So, CPI, IIP, national accounts, and at the same time Central Statistics Office is vested with annual survey of industries and economic census. Right. So, Central Statistics Office role I have given here, and NSSO, another organ under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, is NSSO. NSSO is National Sample Survey Office. What is the objective? The objective is to carry out surveys on socio-economic, demographic, industrial and agricultural statistics. So, if someone talks about socio-economic surveys, the department you should not forget National Sample Survey Office. It is under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Then Law Commission. Law Commission is executive body, just like Niti Aayog, and here major function is to work for legal reforms. And another important aspect about Law Commission is it is having fixed tenure of 3 years. Each Law Commission tenure is 3 years. Second point is it is advisory body for law and justice. Now we are into the 21st tenure of Law Commission. Then it recommends for the repeal of obsolete and unnecessary enactments. The main purpose is to recommend with regard to the faster ensuring justice. Then Niti Aayog replaced Planning Commission, and it is the think tank of Government of India, and chairperson is the Prime Minister. And here initially 2 task forces have been formed on 2 crucial subjects. Subsequently several task forces are formed. Most important task forces are agricultural development and elimination of poverty, and it assumed significance because agriculture farmers income is to be doubled by 2022. That is the government's goal. And another important aspect with regard to Niti Aayog is it is vested with the responsibility of putting sustainable development goals into action and monitor their implementation over the next 15 years. So, this is very important aspect. And at the same time, if you look at Niti Aayog, another important aspect with regard to Niti Aayog is it is coming up with 15 years perspective plan in place of 5-year plans of Planning Commission. Then National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, NPPA, is quite frequently in the news. This is under the Department of Pharmaceuticals, or you can say Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, and it is to fix or revise the prices of controlled bulk drugs and formulations. So, here to enforce prices and availability of medicines in the country under Drug Prices Control Order 2013 and subsequent amendments. Here it also monitors the prices of decontrolled drugs in order to keep them at reasonable prices. Right. So, this is the important aspect of NPPA. Then Finance Commission. Finance Commission basically is a constitutional body set up under Article 280, and what is the primary task? The primary task is to recommend measures on how revenues need to be distributed between center and the states. Tenure is every 5 years, and it consists of chairman and 4 other members, and it also lays down principles for giving out grant in aid to states and other local bodies, very important, and it suggests the mechanism to share the tax revenues. Right. If you look at Serious Fraud Investigation Office, this is under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and it looks at serious financial frauds. Right. It consists of experts in the fields of accountancy, forensic auditing, law, information technology, like that, and here the basic point is for detecting and prosecuting or recommending for prosecution white collar crimes or frauds. That means you can say high corporate frauds. That is the main aim of serious fraud investigation office. Then financial intelligence unit, this is under the Ministry of Finance, and the main purpose is to look at the suspicious financial transactions. And if you look at financial intelligence unit, it is the independent body reporting directly to the Economic Intelligence Council headed by the finance minister, very important. It is the independent body reporting directly to Economic Intelligence Council, and this is headed by the finance minister. So, this looks at suspicious financial transactions. When somebody is depositing 1 crore rupees in cash in the bank, then that report goes to FIU India. Then if you look at the next one, this is RBI, I need not tell anything. This is monetary authority, regulator and supervisor of the financial system. It is the manager of foreign exchange. Foreign Exchange Management Act is looked after by Reserve Bank of India. Issuer of currency, banker to the central government and state governments as well as scheduled banks. It is a banker to the scheduled banks, banker to the central government, banker to the state governments, issuer of currency. So, all these things do not forget. IRDAI is the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, and here this was established based on R.N. Malhotra committee recommendations, and here Hyderabad is the headquarters, do not forget. And IRDAI will have a chairperson and not more than 5 full-time members, and this basically regulates insurance sector in the country. And if you look at the next one, SIDBI. SIDBI, one important point is this principal institution, or you can say it is the principal financial institution for promotion, financing and development of MSME sector. Most important is promotion, financing and development of MSME sector, and it was established in 90. And one more important aspect is it was established initially as fully owned subsidiary of IDBI, and now the present shareholding is diversified. So, it looks at financing and development of MSME sector. And if you look at MSMEs, one more important organization is NSIC, National Small Industries Corporation. It is headquartered in New Delhi and it is established as central public sector enterprise. And one important aspect is it promotes modernization, upgradation of technology, strengthening linkages for MSME sector. So, if you look at MSME sector financing, that is a SIDBI. If you look at MSME sector technology upgradation, that is NSIC, please do not forget. Then the next one is Exim Bank. Exim Bank is established under the Export Import Bank of India Act 1981 by the government, and the main purpose is financing, facilitating, promoting foreign trade of India. That is the main purpose of Exim Bank. And when you are looking at Exim Bank, another important organization, do not forget ECGC. There is a difference between Exim Bank as well as ECGC. ECGC is Export Credit Guarantee Corporation. This Export Credit Guarantee Corporation is to look at primarily for insurance against export credit risks and trade related services. When exports are taking place, there will be risks involved, and ECGC is the organization primarily looks at the export credit risks, right. So, this ECGC and Exim Bank, please understand the difference, and similarly SIDBI as well as NSIC. So, there is a difference between SIDBI and NSIC, and at the same time difference between Exim Bank and ECGC. You should have clear idea about them. Mudra Bank, here Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency, and here this will be responsible for developing and refinancing of micro and small enterprises, and in some news reports it is being written as micro enterprises, but originally as at the time of establishment of Mudra, it was written as responsible for developing and refinancing of micro and small enterprises. Another important aspect, most important, is it will partner with not only commercial banks, but also with microfinance institutions also. Sometimes you may be confused in the examination. This Mudra partners not only with commercial banks, but also with microfinance institutions. Then second important point is it is refinance agency, that is one important point. Then at present it is non-banking financial company registered with RBI, and it is a subsidiary of SIDBI. These things do not forget. And the structure of Mudra may change because government is thinking of some independent structure for Mudra. Then IFCI. Now it lost its relevance, but one important point is it is the first development financial institution established by Government of India. This is Industrial Finance Corporation of India. This is the first DFI established by Government of India after independence. It was established on 1st July 1948, and it got access to low cost funds of Reserve Bank of India primarily to cater for industrial finance, and now it lost its relevance. Then Rural Electrification Corporation, I need not explain much about it. And one thing I would like to tell you, tax free bonds are quite often issued by Rural Electrification Corporation and Power Finance Corporation, as well as the wing of Reserve Bank. Sorry, I will come to it little later. So this is Rural Electrification Corporation. It issues tax free bonds to collect funds at lesser interest, and here it finances and promotes rural electrification projects. And Power Finance Corporation, it also mobilizes funds through taxable as well as non-taxable bonds, and they finance power generation projects. And if you look at this Indian Railway Finance Corporation, it is the financing arm of Ministry of Railways, and sometimes it also issues tax free bonds. And most important aspect, tax free bonds are allowed for nation building projects only. Everyone cannot issue tax free bonds, and these are allowed for nation building projects, right. The basic aim of Indian Railway Finance Corporation is to finance Indian Railways to purchase wagons, locomotives or other assets, right. Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. This is attached office to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And one important aspect about CACP is it recommends minimum support prices to incentivize the cultivators to adopt modern technology, raise productivity, and also with a view to raise overall grain production. And another important aspect is CACP submits recommendations in the form of price policy reports every year. Every year CACP reports price policy reports separately for 5 groups of commodities like kharif crops, rabi crops, sugar cane, raw jute and copra. It submits separate price policy reports under these 5 groups of commodities. Right. Finally, CCEA takes the final decision with regard to the minimum support price. Only CACP recommends, and here Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs takes the final call, right. Then the next one is ISRO. All of you are familiar with this, and it is under the Department of Space and National Space Based Services, and to develop the technologies, and one of the 6 largest space agencies in the world, ISRO now became. And another important aspect is Antrix is there. Antrix is the commercial arm of ISRO, which looks at commercializing various projects for getting some revenue for ISRO, right. Look at the next one, Office of the Economic Advisor. This is one important organization under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and specifically Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. So under DIPP, Office of the Economic Advisor is there. Here it is attached office, you can say, and one important aspect is it releases monthly index of core industries as well as wholesale price index, right. Then it also gives planning and budgeting on behalf of Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. Look at the next one, FSDC. This is one important organization, Financial Stability and Development Council. It is under the Ministry of Finance, and one important aspect with regard to FSDC is it is the coordinating authority, you can say, among the financial sector regulators so as to maintain macro prudential supervision of the economy. So, here chairman is the finance minister and members include heads of the financial sector regulators, secretaries from the Ministry of Finance as well as chief economic advisor. FSDC was formed to bring greater coordination among financial sector regulators, basically keeping in view the macro prudential supervision of the economy. It addresses inter-regulatory coordination and financial sector development issues. Then the next one is CGP-DTM. CGP-DTM is the authority under Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, and please do not forget, this Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion is the nodal authority for intellectual property in our country, and all the issues related to intellectual property are handled by the office of CGP-DTM, which is under the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. And one important aspect is the Controller General, this full name is Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks, or CGP-DTM. It supervises the working of Patents Act, Designs Act, Trademarks Act, right, as well as Geographical Indication Registry. So, all these things are under CGP-DTM, do not forget. It is under DIPP. DIPP is a nodal authority for intellectual property. NIA, this organization, do not forget, this is under the Ministry of Home Affairs, and National Investigation Agency is the Central Counter-Terrorism Law Enforcement Agency. Most important, Central Counter-Terrorism Law Enforcement Agency is National Investigation Agency, and it sets the standards of excellence in counter-terrorism and national security related investigations at the national level, right. Then the next one is Election Commission. It was established on January 25, 1950. So, we celebrate January 25 as Voters' Day to commemorate the establishment of Election Commission, and it looks at the process for conduct of elections to Parliament, legislatures of every state, offices of President and Vice President. So, MLA elections, MLC elections, MP elections, then President, Vice President, all these are looked after by Election Commission of India. Next one is FSSAI, please do not forget, this is under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It is a statutory body and it regulates the manufacturing, processing, distribution, sale and import of food for human consumption, or you can say it is the food regulator, and it establishes single reference point for all matters relating to food safety and standards, and at the same time it also looks at data regarding food consumption, incidence and prevalence of biological risk, at the same time contaminants in food, residues of various contaminants in food products, etc. Then NPCI, this is one important organization, and please read carefully, and here question may be asked and you may be confused. This is the umbrella organization for all retail payments in our country, and it was set up with the guidance and support of, most important, it was set up with the guidance and support of RBI and Indian Banks Association, and finally it was established with the capital from 10 core promoter banks initially. This thing also do not forget, and initially guidance and support is given by Reserve Bank of India and Indian Banks Association, and its objective is to consolidate and integrate multiple payment systems, right. RuPay card, UPI, all these developed by National Payments Corporation of India. Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited. It was established by Reserve Bank of India as a wholly owned subsidiary, and it augments the production of banknotes in our country. It has got 2 presses. These 2 presses are under Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited, and remaining presses are not under RBI. Only 2 presses at Mysore and Salboni are under Reserve Bank of India, or you can say they are under Bharatiya Reserve Bank Note Mudran Private Limited, right. If you look at Directorate General of Civil Aviation, it is under the Ministry of Civil Aviation, and its endeavour is to promote safe and efficient air transportation. So, what is the purpose of DGCA? It registers aircraft. So, civil aircraft registration is done by DGCA, and at the same time licensing of pilots, aircraft maintenance engineers and flight engineers, all these things, as well as supervision of institutions or clubs, schools engaged in flying training are looked after by Directorate General of Civil Aviation. Then the next one is PESO. Yesterday we discussed. This is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, DIPP, and this basically looks at safety in manufacture, storage, transport and handling of explosives, petroleum, compressed gases, and at the same time PESO also looks at licenses regarding storage of calcium carbide, cinematographic films, static and mobile pressure vessels. So, this organization assumed significance because of last year's fire accident in Puttingal temple of Kerala, right friends. We discussed around 33 organizations today, and in one more class we will deliberate further organizations. So, with this let us conclude the revision class today, and you will have 10th revision class on Monday, and I am trying to incorporate the points which you may get confused for each and every aspect. Right friends, have a nice day. Please do join at 11:30 for questions and answers. Right, thank you.